Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside, when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Tino's Time. And on this episode, we are going to recap Week 9 of the fantasy football season. We're halfway through the football season, guys. I put the poll out. How we doing so far? And then we're going to get you ready to set your lineup for Week 10. We're kicking it into high gear. We're on the way to the playoff push. We're 5 weeks away from the playoffs. Every win matters. Every point counts if you're in one of those leagues where higher the points, same record, you get in. So every point matters, guys. So thank you guys all for coming and hanging out with your boy Tino on this Tuesday afternoon as we talk everything fantasy football. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into all the headlines, guys. We had the Colts. They fired Frank Wright. After the Colts lost again on Sunday, they got destroyed. Sam Henninger couldn't do anything. Deion Jackson was a bust. That's maybe because your boy Tino started him. But Jeff Saturday, he played for the Colts before, and now he will be the interim head coach for the Indianapolis Colts the rest of the way. So does that help the Colts? Does that hurt the Colts? To be honest, guys, I think the Colts you need to stay away from the Colts. Colts are a disaster, and yeah. So, Packers, though. Packers lose to the Lions. Packers, I thought this would be the game. I thought this was going to be the game that Packers were going to get back on track. But Rodgers threw three interceptions. The Lions won 15-9, 15-8, and the Packers are sitting at 3-6. But my man behind me here in Chicago, my man Justin Fields showed out versus the Miami Dolphins, guys. Where have you been if you're not watching Justin Fields? And if you don't believe now, then I don't know what game you watching, because the last 2 games, this man has proved to me that the Bears have finally found a quarterback, and he's breaking freaking records. He now has the most rushing yards in NFL history. He surpassed Michael Vick, and my man Justin Fields is a dangerous quarterback. The Bucs, I was about to put the Bucs with the Packers, but the Bucs saved their season with that win over the Los Angeles Rams, getting the W, and now the Bucs continue, and somehow they're sitting at 4-5 and in first place. Have no idea how that happens, guys. But Monday Night Football, I want to give a big shout out to my man Kenyon Drake, going out, showing out, putting up 24, 25 fantasy points, depending on what type of league you're in. He helped me lead me to victory. The Baltimore Ravens put on a show. The defense put on a show. Everybody put on a show for the Ravens. And they beat the Saints 27-13 on Monday Night Football last night, guys. And the Ravens defense looked great. Roquan Smith made a few plays, and Roquan, as a Bears fan, I miss you, my guy, but seeing you in purple, it's gonna hurt, but I'm happy for you. The Saints, on the other hand, Andy Dalton didn't do anything. Thank goodness Alvin Kamara catches the ball, because if it wasn't for that, he wouldn't have anything to be able to do. The Saints defense didn't do very good. It was just not a good night for the Saints. But the Ravens, like I said, they did a good thing. And if you had Kenyon Drake, you were feeling real good. I won. In one of my leagues, I have 2 family members in the league, and I only have 3 wins in the league, and 2 of them are versus my 2 family members. So I won the Whitty Bowl. Tino is the winner of the Whitty Bowl, and he wins. I'll take it. He's sitting at 3-6. But you just never know what can happen, especially this season, guys. So yeah. But that was Monday Night Football. Let's get into these injuries, though, guys. There was a lot of injuries, and there were injuries to big-name players. Rashad Bateman, he had surgery. He has a foot injury, and he is out for the year. So, Baltimore Ravens, Devin Duvernay, even though he didn't have a good Monday night game, he only had 1.8 points, and he only had 1 catch. I think that Devin will be good. Mark Andrews is also out. He was also out. He's dealing with 2 different types of injuries. So hopefully Mark Andrews can get back on track. But we saw what happened last night with all the injuries and who was involved. Deshaun Jackson was involved. I don't know why the man can't stay on the field, because he was hurt by the 3rd quarter. But we'll have to keep an eye on the Ravens. We also had Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas has a toe injury, and now it's safely to say you could drop Michael Thomas in all of your leagues because he's out for the season. Aaron Jones had an ankle injury. He seemed to surpass and deflect any type of major injury, but then we'll have to see what happens during practice. They said he could play, but I hate having guys with injuries. It's just one of those things that really grinds my gears. Evan Ingram's been one of the guys that's been really reliable in fantasy football, and he left the game on Sunday, and he had a back injury. They said he's another one that said he should be good to go, but you guys know how these back injuries are. They can linger, they can do this and that. So it's one of those things. What's up, Chris? I see you, my guy. What's up? How you doing? Philadelphia Eagles, yes, they are still undefeated. Romeo Doubs is out 4 to 6 weeks with an injury, high ankle sprain. It doesn't look like Romeo Doubs will be back. And honestly, the Packers' offense is a disaster. I might be telling you to sit all the Packers. I just don't know what else to do, guys. Like, there's just really no other options and nothing else to do. So, those are some of the big injuries. And like I always tell you guys every week here on Tino's Time when we do this, it is only Tuesday, so you got to keep an eye out for injuries and everything like that. Could pop up during the week. That could pop up on Thursday. This week's Thursday game is the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. So make sure you look out for the injuries. They did say that PJ Walker will be the starter. So that's a good thing I guess we know that. So just keep an eye out for the injuries, guys. But now let's get into the 3 things that I learned coming out of week 3, coming out of week 9, going into week 10. I don't know why I said week 3, but here we are. I said it earlier. I said it in the headlines. This is a good one. This is a heartful one for me, guys. Chicago Bears, I think they found their quarterback. Justin Fields is dominating. He's running the ball. He's breaking records. He's the #1 fantasy quarterback for the week this week. He had 3 rushing touchdowns, or he had 3 total touchdowns. He actually had 4 rushing touchdowns. I don't know. The man went berserk. But the Bears look like they found a quarterback. The other side in the same division, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers need to find some type of help. Rodgers only seems to be worrying about what he's doing. He's not using the running game with Dylan and Aaron Jones like they did last year. They don't have Devontae Adams, obviously. We see what Adams is doing in Las Vegas. Even though they can't win games, Devontae's doing good for our fantasy team. But the Packers are just a disaster. They need to figure out something because they got to play the Cowboys this week. It's not getting any easier, and it doesn't look like the next time they're going to win is ever. So Packers need to figure it out. The last thing I learned is this season continues, guys, to be one of the most unpredictable seasons in fantasy football. If you were to tell me week 9, week 10, going into week 10, that Aaron Rodgers would suck, the Jets were in the playoffs, Geno Smith is cooking like Russell Wilson did with the 12th man, there's just so many things going on. The Lions defense went from being the worst defense, and then they intercepted Aaron Rodgers. There's teams coming out of nowhere. There's guys that we start that we don't know who to start, and they score more points than the guys we actually started. The season continues to be unpredictable, and after week 10, I don't see it getting any different, and I just see it continuing to being complicated and being as difficult as it always will be this whole season long. So those are the 3 things that I learned coming out of week 9. Going into week 10. And now, let's go into some guys, and let's talk about the disappointments and the top 10 performances of the week. So, let's talk about the guys. If you had these guys, they cost you your week, and then we'll get a little happy, and we'll talk about the guys, and we'll get a little positivity here in Tino's Time, and we'll talk about the guys that had a good week. But first, let's talk about the disappointments. And Deion Jackson. Dion, whatever. Where were you, my guy? Jonathan Taylor was out. Nyheim Hines wasn't there. Zach Moss just got there on Tuesday. And you can't get more than 10 points, my dude. You got 5.6 points, and it was a disaster. I just don't understand. What was going on here, Deion? The Colts are a disaster. Everything's a disaster. It's just, I don't understand. But Deion Jackson, Colts running back, disaster. Packers. I didn't even know what the final score total was for the Packers, but I just wanted to put them on here because, I don't know, people, the Packers being bad just makes me happy. but they are a real bad disappointment. You can't trust anybody on the Packers. Rodgers, Romeo Doubs is out. Watson can't stay healthy. Robert Tonyan catches 2 or 3 balls a game. Aaron Jones is barely on the field. A.J. Dillon isn't running like he was. Aaron Rodgers is not relax Aaron Rodgers. He is I want to retire Aaron Rodgers. Packers, disappointment everywhere. DJ Moore, PJ Walker, we didn't know what to expect with everything and blah, blah, blah. And then Baker came in the game. But DJ Moore still did not do anything. He had 4.4 points, and I know everybody went out and probably picked him up after the waiver wire pickup and everything like that. So, but honestly, DJ Moore, I just don't know if I can trust him. Antonio Gibson, you said you were the starter. You took the option. You took the game. You were catching balls. You were scoring touchdowns. You made Brian Robinson forgettable. And then you go out and put up 6.7 points for my fantasy football team that I have you as an RB2 in? Come on, my guy. David Montgomery, man, we got to talk, bro, because this is not good. You had 5.4 points, my guy. What's going on? Just because Justin Fields scoring all the rushing touchdowns doesn't mean you can't get a couple more points, my guy. Yes, Justin Fields breaking records left and right and stealing rushing yards from David Montgomery. But honestly, at this point, I have to start him in one of my leagues because I have no other options. But if you have better options, I'd start Khalil Herbert if you could get somebody else. I may try to get somebody else, but I don't know. David Montgomery, guys, has just been a complete disappointment all season long. And I don't think it's going to get any better at all. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 2.9 points. The Chiefs offense did their thing. They won the game, and they did, whatever they had to do. They beat the Titans and yada, yada, yada. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire did not do nothing, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire has now become one of the guys that you can just not trust. And, yeah, Chiefs, I can't believe you cannot trust the Chief. So, let's now get in. Let's get rid of the negativity. And let's get into some positivity, guys. And let's talk about the top 10 performances of the week. And let's talk about the guys that if you started them, you were feeling good, and you probably took home a W. And guys, if you guys are just joining us, make sure to leave a comment. Leave something in the comments. Leave some questions. I'll answer them after we go through all the information. I see you guys. What's up, Chris? Chris says, can you dig it, sucker? Can you dig it, Chris? And then he said 15-9. It was 15-9. Okay. Thank you. What's up, Corey? How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging out. But, guys, let's get into all of the top 10 performances. And if you had these guys, you're feeling real good. Coming out of Week 9, going into Week 10. Joe Mixon said, Joe Burrow, you don't need Jamar Chase because I'll just take every rushing touchdown and I'll just run it up the middle. Speaking of can you dig it, sucker, Joe Mixon did five time touchdowns. He had 5 touchdowns. He scored 5.1 points, 55.1 points. He scored the 4th highest points ever in fantasy football, I think, since like 1979 or something. The last 2 people to do it was that we had Jamal Charles back in 2012, 2013. We had Tyreek Hill. We had Alvin Kamara a few years ago on Thanksgiving because I remember I had him. He was facing the Vikings. Don't ask me how I remember that. But Joe Mixon putting up 55.1 points, the number 1 running back and the number 1 scorer this week in fantasy football. Number 2, we got Paul Levesque in the building. What's up, Papa H? How you doing, my guy? Number 2, the number 1 quarterback. I'm giving my man all types of love this week. It's Justin Fields. 51.18 points. 51.18 points. He scored a rushing touchdown, 60-yard rushing touchdown. He had 3 of them to be exact. He had a passing touchdown. He only passed for 123 yards. But if he's running for 179, I'll take it all day long. However, the Bears get touchdowns. I feel like the Bears won this week. I don't know about you guys. But Justin Fields put on an absolute show. And I'm so happy that Justin Fields is here in Chicago. Dallas Goedert, Thursday night. He brought me some points on Thursday. He did his thing. And he scored 24 points. And I was just talking to my man Corey from Armchair Athletes that I see in the chat. Corey and me were just talking before I started recording about how this guy, Dallas Goedert, could possibly be a top 5 tight end next year. So if you got him, you're feeling real good. Austin Eckler continues to be the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only, the guy that we continue to trust, the only running back that continues to put up points every single week, and we just love it, guys. Austin Eckler, 24 points, couple touchdowns, and did his thing. I'll take it all day long. The Patriots defense, in some leagues, in one league of mine, they scored 41 points, and my little cousin Rocco continues to get screwed every single week. And the Patriots defense put up 41 points in some leagues, 26 in other leagues, just depending on how your scoring is. So, guys, Patriots defense looking like studs. Travis Etienne, I'll give another shout out to Rocco though on this one, because Rocco, draft night, you said this guy was going to be good and nobody believed you, but here we are week 9 and he's number 6, scoring 26.6 points, doing his thing, proving that the Jacksonville Jaguars running backs, it's his home. James Robinson is in New York and Travis Etienne is running the Jacksonville Jaguars backfield. Devontae Adams. I know Mr. Aaron Rodgers misses his boy Devontae. Devontae Adams put on an absolute show in the first half. He didn't do much in the second half, but however many points you get, I mean, I'll take it. And 36 points all day long, doing his thing, and I'll take it because obviously him and Derek Carr are the only two that they know how to throw to. Justin Jefferson, guys. Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings continues to be the guy and continues to be the one that does this thing every single week. Him and Kirk Cousins. Speaking of Captain Kirk, did you guys see what that man was wearing and his chains and everything? He was feeling himself. Justin Jefferson, the Vikings in first place by 4.5 games in the NFC North. Seems like they're taking the division as of right now. 25.5 points for Justin Jefferson. He continues to do his thing. Tyreek Hill, number 27. He put up, not number 27. Number 10 put up 27.3 points. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Tua Tagovailoa put on a show versus the Bears. The Bears competed, but that offense and those three together is dynamite. And number 10, Keenan Allen was out. Mike Williams was out. He had Gerald Everett. He had Deontay Carter. He had Austin Eckler. And then he had this guy. And I picked him up on Saturday. And my uncle says, "Who's this bum you picked up from the Chargers?" I was like, "You wait and see." I was like, "He's a bum, but Justin Herbert's got no one to throw to." And this man goes out on Sunday, puts up 18.8 points, leads me to a victory, and beats me, and I beat my uncle. And how's that bum doing now? Because that bum beat you. Thank you, Josh Palmer. Adds a touchdown, puts on a good showing, and he put up 18.8 points. So I'll take it all day long. Funny, Spaghetti Head could continue to fail in fantasy. What's up, Paul? How you doing? I sent a question. I'm going to answer all the questions after. What's up, Jeb? What's up, man? Jeb, stay here, man. I'll make sure to answer all your questions after we get through all the information. So, everybody, I will get to your messages, but those are the top 10 performances here in week 9, going in to week 10. And now that we recapped everything that's going to go on to week 9, let's get into all of the action that's going to go down to week 10, and let's get ready to set your lineups, and let's get in and let's answer some questions, because that's what we got to do here. We got to make sure that we let everybody know. So let's see what questions we got real quick before we do start previewing everybody. Let's see. People said they dropped some questions. Paul Levesque says, "Do you think you will ever get a perfect score in fantasy football?" So a perfect score, if you mean like perfect lineup, I have never done that. If you do, bro, let me know though. So thank you, Paul Levesque, for the question. I appreciate it. We got Jeb in the building. What's up, Jeb? Thanks for coming and hanging out, my guy. He says, "Should I trade Aaron Jones and DJ Moore for DeAndre Swift and Mike Evans?" Jeb, honestly, bro, I would. Because I was just talking about Aaron Jones being a disappointment. The Packers are a disaster. My phone continues to fall. And I don't know. And then we have DJ Moore. Who's the quarterback going to be? Is it Baker? Is it PJ? Is it Sam Darnold? They took off of IR. Who is it going to be, bro? And at least with DeAndre Swift, hopefully he's back to being good in a few weeks. And then we have Mike Evans. And Mike Evans, he didn't have a great game, but Mike Evans is definitely more reliable than DJ Moore. So, Jeb, I'd do that in a second. I would take Mike Evans and DeAndre Swift all day long. So, thank you, Jeb, for asking your question. If anybody else got any more questions, I'd rather care less. JD laugh. Funny as hell. So, everybody, what's up, April? How you doing? Thanks for coming and hanging out. So, guys, let me get back into the sheet, and let's get in to the preview for Week 10. And let's start it off because we got more bye weeks, everybody, and these teams aren't a bye. So if you're missing these players, you're going to have to wait and see and deal without them this week in Week 10. We got the Ravens. You're going to be missing Lamar. You're going to be missing Kenyon Drake, my guy doing his thing. You're going to be missing Devin Duvernay, Mark Andrews. The Ravens defense gets a break. The Bengals, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, the guy that just put up 55 points. You're not going to be able to use him this week. The Patriots defense, honestly, Patriots defense and Ramondre Stevenson, the only two I'm starting in fantasy football on the Patriots. But you're still going to miss them. The Jets. We got the New York Jets. The Jets are in the number 5 seed if the playoffs ended today or if the playoffs started today. So we're going to be missing the Jets defense. We're going to be missing Michael Carter if you've been playing him. Garrett Wilson. You should not be playing Zach Wilson, that is. So please do not be playing Zach Wilson, because if you are, maybe in like a 14-16 team league. But other than that, I don't know. So, everybody, yeah. So those are the teams that are on a bye. Now that we told you the teams that are on a bye, let's get in to everything. And let's get ready to tell you the players that you guys can start, sit, stream, the waiver wire, and everything like that. Because I give you all the players that I think that are going to have a good week, a bad week, and everything that you need to set your lineup. So before that, let's go and let's do the one thing that Tino seems to be doing good here at least this season here on Tino's time. And my bold predictions, guys. Both predictions have been doing their thing. Last week here on this show, around this time, Tino said, and he was like, the Jets are going to beat the Bills. I said, I was like, you know what? I'm calling it. And the Jets are going to beat the Bills. And what happened? And the Jets beat the Bills. And, like I said, the Jets are number 5 seed. If the Jets somehow continue to win, Josh Allen may be out this week. The Jets could be first place. What if the Jets somehow become the 1st seed this year? Wouldn't that be some shit, guys? If the New York Jets are the number 1 seed this year, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but, I mean, it could happen. It's crazy. The season's very unpredictable. Paul, he sends another question. Paul, once we get through all the starts and everything, and the streams, we'll get to all the questions, bro. So make sure to keep dropping all your questions, guys. We have the starts, the sits, the streams, but before we do all that, we got to go to the waiver wire. And let's do the waiver wire. Because these are my top 5 waiver wire pickups of Week 10 that you could pick up. Some guy might be on a bye. Some guy's on an IR spot. But we're getting down to the waiver wire, or the grind. And we're getting closer to the playoffs. So you got to think ahead. And number 5, we always need tight ends. And the way Justin Fields has been playing, I can't believe I'm going to say it, but we could trust Cole Kmet? Maybe? But versus the Lions this week, with the tight ends on a bye that are on a bye, with Hayden Hurst, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, stuff like that, I think that Cole Kmet is a very good streaming option this week. And if you have him, or if he's sitting on your waiver wire, and if you need a tight end, I definitely consider starting him and picking him up this week. Mecole Hardman. Did you guys know that Mecole Hardman has scored 3, or he's actually scored 4 out of the last 5 games? He's at least had 1 touchdown. Mecole Hardman's becoming that receiver that Patrick Mahomes seems to trust. I mean, he has been there the longest, so why isn't he trusting him more? But Mecole Hardman doing his thing, and he's going up against the Jaguars, and with all the injuries, guys, I think it's a good option. And before number 3, Tino's got to take a drink. And number 3, guys, we have Michael Carter. He's on a bye for the Jets, but I think that Michael Carter, coming off of the bye, we know Bryce Hill's out for the year, or Breece Hill is out for the year. So I think that Michael Carter, guys, is a very good option to pick up and stash for bye weeks coming. We have bye weeks until week 14, so you just need to make sure you're all ready and keep an eye on it. We have Kyren Williams. He is on the Los Angeles Rams. I don't know what's going on with Cam Akers. I don't know what's going on with Mr. Darrell Henderson Jr., but it seems like they don't know who to give the ball to. And Kyren Williams, coming off of IR, he's been able to be activated he should be able to be activated by the end of this, or by the next 2 weeks, I should say. So Kyren Williams, guys, if you need a tight end, if you need a running back, I think that he's a very good option to pick up. And, and then the worst thing that happens, all you got to do is drop him. My number one waiver wire pickup, it is Deshaun Watson. Yes, I'm saying it, Deshaun Watson. He has been suspended. He will be returning and be coming back in week 13. He'll be facing the Houston Texans. It's a revenge game, and you know damn well this man's going to come out and ball out against the Houston Texans. So Deshaun Watson, go pick him up, stash him if you can, and I think once he comes back, I think him and Amari Cooper are going to have themselves a really nice connection, and I think that Amari's just not going to lose a step. And those are my top 5 waiver wire pickups for Week 10. Now let's get into the starts, the sits, and then the streams for the guys that I tell you to sit that you could put in your lineup and feeling good about that playing them this week here in fantasy football, guys. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into the starts, the sits, and the streams. The starts this week, my starting quarterbacks, I'm going to say it, Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones, coming off of a bye for the New York Giants. They're going up against the Houston Texans. Houston Texans are awful against the run. They're awful against everything. And I think Danny Dimes could have a game like Justin Fields. I don't know if he's going to have 178 yards, but he could. It could happen. So start Danny Dimes this week if you have him. Justin Fields going up against the Lions. Justin Fields continues to prove why the Bears may have made the right decision at quarterback, and Justin Fields is doing his thing, and I cannot wait to see what he does. And I think he's a good start this week versus the Lions. He was the number 1 fantasy quarterback the last few weeks. He's putting up points. The Bears are averaging 28 plus points the last 4 weeks. Justin Fields just continues to do his thing, and I don't think it's going to stop versus the Lions. Cordell Patterson, we thought this man was going to come back after 6 weeks. We thought he was going to be hurt. We thought he wasn't going to do anything. And he comes out, he puts up 18 points, he puts up 2 touchdowns, and he has himself a very good game. So put him in your lineup on Thursday night and feel good about starting Cordell Patterson, guys. And then Saquon Barkley, New York Giants. We're going to pick on the Texans because that's what we do here. We got to pick on the Texans. So I'd start all the Giants that you have. But Saquon Barkley obviously is a start, but just don't get any crazy ideas and be sitting Saquon Barkley this year because, like I said earlier with Danny Dimes, the Texans' run game is awful, or run defense is awful. Terrence Marshall Jr. going up against the Falcons on Thursday night, and this is more for deeper leagues. If you're in like a super flex league, 14-team league, 16-team league, this man had 3 receptions, 53 yards, and a touchdown last week. And hey, super flex, 3 wide receivers, I'll take that any day from a 3rd wide receiver. So feel good about starting Terrence Marshall Jr. this week versus the Falcons. Amari Cooper coming off of a bye, start him versus the Dolphins. Did you see what Justin Fields and the Dolphins did last week? There was 35-32, and I think it's going to be the same type of game with the Dolphins and the Browns. So start Amari Cooper, start Nick Chubb, start just start them all. That's what I would do. I wish I had Tua, Waddle, or Hill. I don't got any of them. But the tight ends now. We always need tight ends, guys. And Cole Kmet, I said it. You pick him up, you put him in your lineup, and you feel good about it. Going up against the Lions, he had 2 touchdowns. He has more touchdowns this year than he did last year. And I think he has more touchdowns the last 2 weeks than he did in the last, 18 months. I mean, it's crazy. But Cole Kmet, I think we can finally trust him. And we always need tight ends. Cade Otton from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He caught his first touchdown on Sunday. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in first place in the division, even though they're 4-5. I think Tampa Bay and Tampa Bay are going to go out, show out, and that game versus Seattle is going to be a very good one. So start Cade Otton for a tight end spot this week. And the defense that I'm going to start all week this week, it's them Cowboys coming off of a bye. They're going up against Mr. Ron, and Aaron Rodgers can't do his thing. He can't do anything right. And I just think that the Cowboys defense is a great start this week going up against the Packers. Now that we talked about the starts, let's talk about the guys I feel like you need to take out of your lineup this week because I just do not feel like they got good matchups and I just can't trust them. Aaron Rodgers. Speaking of the Cowboys defense, I don't want any part of Aaron Rodgers. He's going to have a couple sacks. He's going to probably throw an interception. This isn't the Aaron Rodgers that had Jordy Nelson, Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams, so on and so forth. The Mons, I go on and on and on. This is not the same Aaron Rodgers. And guys, it's not going to get any better. First, that dominating Cowboys defense that is coming off of a bye. Justin Herbert, guys, Sunday Night Football. Justin Herbert, I mean, I don't know what happened, but Justin Herbert only had 12 points versus the Falcons. Austin Eckler still had a good game, like we talked about earlier with Joshua Palmer. Like, they did have a good game, but Justin Herbert only had 12 points. And Sunday night going up against the 49ers defense, them coming off of a bye, they got the human joystick of Christian McCaffrey. They got a different type of energy right now, and I just don't want to trust it on Sunday night. Eno Benjamin going up against the Rams. James Conner is back, and honestly, I think James Conner is the one to be started in Arizona. But I would keep Eno Benjamin as a backup, as a streamer, or as a handcuff, because James Conner cannot stay healthy, and if James Conner gets hurt and is out for the period of the season, Eno Benjamin becomes an RB2 or a fringe RB1, depending on who he's facing. The Colts running backs, Deion Jackson, Jonathan Taylor, Zach Moss. I don't care if it's McLovin. I don't know. I can't trust the Colts. I just can't trust the Colts. Colts are a disaster. They got Jeff Saturday as the coach. It feels like something the Bears or the White Sox would do, bringing in like Robert Ventura as a coach or something. I mean, I don't know what's going on in Indianapolis, guys, but it's a disaster, and I don't think I could trust him right now. The Titans running backs, the Titans receivers. Malik Willis, I don't know. I know he's going to be good, and I know he's going to be okay, but he's not throwing the ball. Robert Woods didn't get very many points. Derrick Henry ran the ball for 2 touchdowns. He did his thing, but I don't know if I can trust the Titans wide receivers, especially if you need a win to continue to make a playoff push. If you're trying to stay at top of the division, it's the down to the nitty-gritty, guys, and you need to make sure you're putting guys in your lineup that are going to score points, lead you to a victory, and make sure that you do not lose and you try to win your league this year. We're going to try to do it, everybody. And now, let's go to the other wide receivers are the Packers. Can't start the Packers. The Packers are a team now. Besides Aaron Jones, I just cannot trust them. What's up, Tico? How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging out. After I get to the sits, we're almost done with the sits, man. I'll answer your question. So, we got the Packers receivers. I'm just not trusting. Kyle Pitts going up against the Panthers. Kyle Pitts, I don't know. You might have to start him, but I just cannot deal with it. I just can't. I don't know what to do with this man. He has a touchdown, and then we think he's going to do something, and then he's not. And I just cannot deal with Kyle Pitts anymore, guys. Logan Thomas, Monday night versus the Eagles. Eagles defense is good. They're going to go 10-0. They're going to feel good, and the Eagles are going to do their thing. Logan Thomas, I'm staying away from him this week. I am sitting the Bills defense this week, guys. I know we see the Bills defense. We're like, ooh, they're going to feast. But if Josh Allen is out, we don't know. It's Tuesday. A lot could change from Tuesday to Sunday. If Josh Allen is out and the backup quarterback is starting, that Vikings-Bills game is going to be very, very interesting to see how everything goes. So, Tico says his name is Tino. What's up, What's up, Tino? Tino, we got 2 Tinos in the house. What's up, Tino? Well, now, Tino, you got to subscribe, bro, because it is Tino's time. So you got to be part of Tino's times. Funny as hell. What's up, Tico? Thanks for coming and hanging out. Or Tino. You want to call me? I'll call you Tino. You could be Tino too. There you go. So we got Tino too. But, guys, I'm staying away from the Bills. Drop this up. Thank you, Tino. I appreciate you, bro. He said... I lost my train of thought. That was good. That was funny. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. But the Bills defense, I'm staying away from them, and I'm seeing where we're going to go and see what happens with Mr. Josh Allen this week. What's up, Francisco? We got Walter. It's going to be a shame. So, what's up, guys? Let's get into a few questions. Tino asks, he's got a 10-team, half PPR, 4 to 5 traded. Mixon, Williams, and Palmer for Chubb and Godwin. So, Tino, which part would you be part of? Would you be getting Palmer, or would you be getting Chubb and Godwin? Or are you trading away Mixon, Williams, and Palmer? Which side are you on? He said he dropped a sub for me. Thank you so much. What's up, Francisco? Francisco asks, should I trade Higgins, Sutton, and Wilson for Eckler and Cooks? I have Cousins, Barkley, and Mixon, Kupp, Higgins, Lockett, Pierce, with Sutton and Wilson on my bench. 2 flex PPR. What's up? So Francisco says, oh, that's interesting. I got Chubb. I traded Mixon. Okay, Tino, I definitely would do that because Chubb and Godwin are way more reliable. And with Mixon, you know, he just had 55 points, and you know next time he plays, he's not going to do that. But back to Francisco. Francisco, so you want to trade Higgins, Sutton, and Wilson for Eckler and Cooks. So you would be getting Eckler, right? Is that right? You'd be getting Eckler? Because if you're getting Eckler, I would do that. Because Eckler's ridiculous. And especially with no receivers on the Los Angeles Chargers right now, who's Justin Herbert throwing to? He's not throwing to nobody. So he's just gonna dump it down to Austin Eckler. So Francisco, I definitely do that. If you are going to get, I would, because then you would have Cousins, Barkley. You could have Eckler, Mixon, Kupp, Higgins, and then you put Lockett as your flex or Pierce, depending on who it is. Because to be honest, I don't know how I feel about Russell Wilson, bro. I don't know if I can trust Russell Wilson. So I don't know if I could trust him, but I would do it, bro. He said I traded Mixon. Good stuff, Tino. What's up, Sing? How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging out. Francisco said yes. So, yeah, I would do that, bro. I would definitely do that because you get Eckler, and Eckler does everything. Eckler does it all. So, I definitely would. What's up, Walter? We got Walter in the building. So, guys, keep dropping your questions. I'll continue to answer them. But let's get in and let's get through all the information, and then we can answer all your questions. I'll stay here as long as you guys got questions. So let's get to the streams of the week. And I just told you guys you can sit. So, Tino's going to die real quick. So, guys, make sure to stream. And let me tell you the guys you're going to stream for the guys I just told you to stream. I just told you to sit. So let me tell you the guys you could put in to replace them. Jared Goff going against the Bears. Jared Goff, you know, the Bears defense is okay, but we see the missing of Roquan Smith and everything. So I think that Jared Goff will have a very good game. And, you know, with the teams on bye, you're missing Joe Burrow, you're missing Lamar Jackson. You got to think about it, and you got to try to figure out who has a good matchup. Jimmy Garoppolo going up against Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers, I feel like this game is going to be a shootout. I feel like this game is going to be very high scoring. And I think that it's going to be very good. Isaiah Pacheco. I don't know how I feel about this guy, and I keep going back and forth. But I think that going up against the Jaguars with the running backs and everything like that, I think Isaiah could have possibly a decent game. And Singh says, Tino, drink some water. I got some water, bro. I'm going to take a sip right now. Thank you, Singh. I appreciate it, bro. But now let's get into the other streams. Rachaad White going up against the Seahawks. Leonard Fournette continues to not do what we thought he was going to do. And I think Rachaad White, we got to try to think about the nitty-gritty, guys. You got to try to think about it. So, Rachaad White doing his thing for the Buccaneers. I think it could be a very good play this week. Zay Jones going up against the Chiefs. The Chiefs in the Jaguars game, I feel like is going to be very high scoring. I feel like the Chiefs are going to get very high points. The Jaguars are going to have to throw the ball. He's got to throw it to Christian Kirk. He's got to throw it to Zay Jones. He's got to throw it hopefully to Evan Ingram. Check it down to Travis Etienne. So I think that Zay Jones versus the Chiefs is a very decent option. We got Donovan Peoples-Jones coming back off of a bye week. I'm going to see you, Tino. We got Donovan Peoples-Jones going up against the Dolphins this week, guys. Donovan Peoples-Jones coming off of a bye. I think he's a very good play. Greg Dulcich. Last time he played, he had 10.8 points on one drive. Greg Dulcich doing his thing against the Titans. The Titans hopefully will have Ryan Tannehill back. We don't know. Hopefully. But I think that Greg Dulcich will be a good play this week. Russell hopefully figures it out. I mean, it should. I just don't know. But Greg Dulcich versus the Titans, guys, I think that he's a very good play. Noah Fant going up against the Buccaneers. Geno. I don't know why I keep messing up all these guys' names. Geno Smith, guys. Geno Smith doing his thing. He's been cooking, and now the Giants defense is going to go up against the Texans, and I think the Giants are going to be cooking like Geno Wilson. I put Russell and Geno together. Geno Smith was cooking. I think that the Giants will be cooking versus the Texans. So, start the Giants defense and start Noah Fant because Geno really likes Noah Fant and Geno's been cooking, like I said. So, make sure to start and stream Noah Fant and the Giants defense. Tino, if you mean you're going, I'm going to see you. See you, Tino. Come and hang out later, bro. I'll be live for NXT at 7 o'clock, guys. Remember, it is a double header here on Tino's Time. And now that we went through the starts, the sits, and the streams, let's get to the games that I think are going to be fantasy gold this week here in Week 10 of the football season. We got the Bills, we got the Vikings, and I wrote this down before I knew that Josh Allen was hurt. But if Josh Allen does play, which I hope he does, and hopefully the injury isn't as bad as they're making it out to be, maybe they're just trying to scare us a little bit. So, I don't know. But the Bills and Vikings game I still think will be very good. Ryan, I do see your question, bro, so make sure to stay in here. Everybody, if you are just joining us, make sure to drop your questions below. Let me know what you guys are feeling about the football season. We're almost done here going through all the information, and then I will answer everybody's questions, so everybody make sure to drop them below. And then the second game that's going to be gold this week, it's going to be the Browns, it's going to be the Dolphins. Did you see what the Bears and Dolphins did last week? Because the Browns and Dolphins are going to do the same thing. It's going to be a fantasy bonanza. And my last game that's going to be gold this week, I know I said it to sit them, but I think they got to score if they want to keep up with the 49ers. So I'm going to say that the Chargers and the Niners, Sunday Night Football, is going to be a good game, and it's going to be a shootout, and it's going to be fantasy gold. So you want to start all the players on all of those teams, guys. And now that I gave you the 3 games that are going to be fantasy gold, let me give you my 3 guarantees for week 10 that I think will definitely happen. The Texans, guys, they're going to continue to struggle versus the run. That's why I'm telling you to start Saquon, start Daniel Jones, start everybody that's going to run the ball because the Texans can't stop the run. So Texans going to continue to struggle. Danny Dimes going to do his thing, and it's going to be a good day. The Packers lose to the Cowboys. I mean, I know this season's been unpredictable, But the season's been unpredictable for a bad way for the Packers. It's not been very good. So I think the Packers continue, and I think they're just going to continue to struggle. Cowboys are coming off of a bye week. They get a little rest. So I think the Packers are going to beat the Cowboys. Or the Packers are going to lose to the Cowboys, I should say. Packers, I mean, they might, but I mean, I don't know. I'm still going to take the Cowboys in that one. The Eagles, they get to 9-0. Come on now. The Eagles, they are facing the Commanders. They facing Taylor Heineke. They facing scary Terry McLaurin. They facing Antonio Gibson. The Eagles, Monday Night Football next week, guys. We'll be live watching Monday Night Football, Monday Night Raw. But Eagles going 9-0. They're going to be doing their thing. And they're just going to be flying high to the playoffs. And that's all, everybody. That's all the information that I have here for you for a Week 9 recap and a Week 10 preview. So everybody, now that I did that and now your boy Tino has been talking nonstop, let's get into all of the questions and let's ask everybody and let's see what everybody's got to say. What's up, Walter? How you doing, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging out, Walter. I appreciate it, man. He says mix it in Williams. Are you saying mix it? You want to trade Mixon for Williams? Is that what you're saying? Would I rather have Rondale Moore or Devontae Smith? Honestly, Ryan, I would rather have Devontae Smith because Jalen Hurts throws the ball. I know Rondale Moore, what is he? The third option behind Hopkins and Ertz. I know Rondale Moore's had a very good few games. But I think that Devontae Smith would be more reliable and more consistent. I know he hasn't, and it's just one of those things. I know with A.J. Brown, but I feel like with both of them that it's one of those things that because Hopkins is in Carolina or in Arizona and A.J. Brown is in Philly, I feel like you're going to have the same type of thing with both of them. But I feel like the guy that would get me more consistent points would be Devontae Smith. So hopefully that helps. And if, guys, any of this information does help, remember to hit that subscribe button, join Tino's Nation. We are on the road to 500. So if you guys do join the Nation, you guys join the raffle, the 500 subscriber raffle. We're giving something away here on Tino's Time. So make sure you guys subscribe. Once we hit it, we'll be doing a raffle. We'll be doing a live stream. We'll be hanging out. We'll be doing it live here. So everybody, make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys join the raffle. Join the nation. That is Tino's Nation, everybody. So thank you guys all for coming and hanging out here on Tino's Time. Everybody, let's see if we got any more questions. Paul Levesque said he left me one. So let's see what Paul Levesque had to say. Oh, we do. We got a few more. He says, can you tell... I'll tell Rocco you said hi. Do I think the WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view is going to be good? Paul Levesque, I think that this Royal Rumble, bro, is going to be the best Royal Rumble that we've seen in a long time. I think the unpredictability of it. I think just everything. I think the stuff that we haven't seen. I think there's just going to be so many different things that we have not seen before that it's going to be great. So I think the Royal Rumble is going to be awesome this year. What's my favorite food? My favorite food is pizza or barbecue wings. What's your favorite food, Paul Levesque? And then Walter says, because it's going to be a shame. What's going to be a shame, Walter? What's going to be a shame, my guy? So, we got Singh. Singh says, drink some water if you're tired. Thank you, Singh. I appreciate it, bro. And then the last question that we have is Tico says, I'm going to see you. See you, Tino. See you, Tico. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming and hanging out with your boy, Tino. I appreciate you subscribing, joining the nation. That is Tino's Nation. So, guys, I left you 3 questions. Chris, you did. Where did I see them? Chris, was it the top? Happy birthday to... I did just see your questions. Where'd you leave? Did you answer them or no? Okay, the Kodak I have not been Bailey. Tino, can you think? I'm gonna start the... Yes, Chris, I would start I would start the Eagles defense since the Jets are on a bye. I actually picked up the Jets because they are on a bye. Let's see, Chris. No. Let's make sure we got all the questions, everybody, answered. Got everybody. Everybody's almost 6-3. Nope. Anybody 9-0? I'm not 9-0. I wish I was 9-0. Tino sucks this year. Hopefully, I'm helping you guys. Chris, if you want to redrop those questions, man, I can't see them. So if you want to redrop them, everybody, drop some more questions here on the live stream, everybody. And while we do that, and while you guys do continue to drop the questions, let's go over what we have going on the rest of the week here on Tino's Time. So we're not done here yet today, guys, because come back in 3 short hours and come and hang out and let's watch NXT. We got Charlie Dempsey. We got Cameron Grimes. We're going to see Brutus Creed going up against Damian Kemp. We're going to see Nikita Lyons going up against and teaming up with Zoe Starks to take on Kaden Carter and Katana Chance for the tag titles. We're going to see Axiom. We're going to see Braun Breaker. We're going to see a bunch of stuff going to go down here tonight. We have Andre Chase and Charlie Dempsey, I should say. We got Axiom and JD McDonough. We got Cameron Grimes and Joe Gacy. We got the Grayson Waller effect with Von Wagner and Braun Breaker. And then, like I said, we got the women's tag titles match, guys. So, guys, we got Chris says, what's up, Chris? Let me get the banner off. And then we have, Chris says, okay, here's one of them. Chris says, Packers still have to play the undefeated Philadelphia Eagles this season. Yeah, they do. They're screwed. So, that's tonight. That's today. And then Wednesday, it's Wednesday Night Dynamite, guys. And you know what that means. It's Wednesday. Come and hang out with your boy Tino as we watch AEW Dynamite. We see an 8-man tag team match with FTR, The Acclaim, The Bad Guys, and so many more. We're going to see a 2 out of 3 falls between Sammy Guevara and Daniel Bryan. We're going to see Chris Jericho, Law Champion. We're going to see Sky Blue and Jamie Hayter. We got booty meat everywhere. We got Eddie Kingston coming out, showing out, back here on Dynamite. So, Wednesday night, you know what that means. It's Dynamite. And then, the last show of the week, here on Tino's Time, because as I've been saying it, and I will continue to tell you guys, we will not be here for a Week 10 live stream for the football season this week. We will not be here, so that's okay. It's just one live stream. We'll be here all week for wrestling, and then we will be back next week for Week 11 to watch some more football action, guys. So, that's what we have here going on the rest of the week here on Tino's Time, guys. Continue to leave your questions. Leave your questions in the comments. I'll answer every single one of them. Guys, I appreciate all of you coming and hanging out here on this Tuesday afternoon, listening about all the crazy football stuff going on. And if you guys want to hear more of me and you miss me and you can't wait to hear from me till 7 o'clock tonight, remember to go follow all the social medias, SoundCloud and Spotify, at Tino's Time, Tino's Time Wrestling on Instagram. There's something wrong with the Facebook page. I don't know what's going on with that. Tino's Time 1996 on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Yes, we're on TikTok. Remember to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. Like I said, join the nation. That is Tino's Nation. Join the raffle. We're only 13 away now. Thank you, Tino, for the subscribe. I appreciate it, bro. And finally, guys, remember to turn that notification button on so you guys know when we go live. So when we watch the black and gold, black and white brand, that is NXT. Happy birthday to Julia Hart. She's 21 years old. Let's go drinking. So, guys, have a good Tuesday afternoon. Enjoy your dinner. Come back tonight and watch some NXT with your boy Tino. And until then, when we do that, tonight at 6:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, when we do watch some NXT, guys, this is your boy Tino, signing out.